episode of Guest of the Month. I am Davina from EVM and I'm joined by my first guest, Louisa Morgan from Homeward Bound Travel, who is the director and owner. So we're just going to have a quick chat and find out how they're getting on, and let's get stuck in.
Okay.
So you're a mother, a wife and a businesswoman. How do you have the time to fit it all in?
How do I fit it all in? It's quite tricky. Before COVID, I was obviously more office-based. That was easy, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Now I'm back on the road. Everybody else is furloughed. I'm back on the road. That's a bit more tricky, but to be honest, I prefer being on the road than being stuck in the office. So I'm making it work.
That's good. Yeah, I think it's a bit different as well with COVID at the minute, but like you say,
it is, but you're not quite like it.
No, and yeah, you keep busy and it's great.
Yes.
So for those that don't know who you are and Homeward Bound Travel, can you just explain what you do and how did you get into the industry yourself?
Okay, I got into the industry. My dad used to sell buses and coaches, and he also used to drive part-time for local companies, so I would go with him on various trips to the rallies, specifically where it was all very glamorous for me, I guess. But as soon as I passed my degree, I then took my test at 21 and went from there. I drove somebody else for 3 years and then started when I was 24. We do private hire, minibuses for anyone, airports, students, feeder coach trips, tours, anything that anyone wants to do really, but I stay away from stag do's and anything that involves too much vomit.
I don't blame you. Is that always something you've wanted to do, to go into the bus and coach industry?
Yeah. I did right from when I was 9 or 10 years of age, and my mum, as I said, hoped that I would grow out of it, and many a conversation around the kitchen table where she would say, is there just nothing else you want to do? But it was really glamorous, know, all the drivers that used to take us to school used to go off on ski trips, and I wanted to do the same. So primarily the ski trips are what got me into it, tragically enough. And I did manage to get quite a fair few in
so
before I
had
my
back,
daughter.
Not since so. Good.
No,
good. Nice
definitely
to hear.
not.
So I know that you've got 3 EVM exclusives.
Yes.
How did you start up your company right from the start, if we're looking back?
Okay.
Fleet or staff even as well?
So I started out just driving myself. I just got a Renault Master Towie conversion with underfloor luggage, which I thought ticked all the boxes. Yeah. And I just drove it. There was no tachos at that point. I drove it day and night. And then I got a second one, took on another driver, but I always aspired to get, you would go to the shows and you would see the EVM product, but I always thought it was beyond me. Yeah. And then eventually, I think 2015, we got our first one, which actually doesn't seem that far long ago.
It doesn't, does it?
No, but that was the first one. We'd gone to crafters and sort of, inched up, and then eventually now we've got pure EVM.
So what would you say is your best feature on the exclusive that kind of won you over from the rest?
Absolutely. Well, I like the fact that Mercedes, obviously everybody associates Mercedes with they'll get on and say, wow, Mercedes is written on every seat in their face. But obviously the panoramic roof for me, that was brilliant. You get on and you think, wow, this is literally, now if I get on a minibus and it hasn't got a panoramic roof, I think this is, substandard. Obviously the power door, that was a massive, plus point. We have Polytechnica seats in them, so that to me is great. Just brilliant. And obviously the fact that I know EVM and I know that the backup is there. That's so important that, when we've done other, minibuses from other companies, it's a bit hit and miss. Whereas EVM, you know that you can pick the phone up, speak to Ian, and job done.
Deals with it. Yeah. I was going to say, I know that you've dealt with after-sales sales. Each department of EVM. Sure. And if you have some sort of query, it's solved quickly.
Absolutely. Literally. I mean, within the day. Or within the morning sometimes, even on a Saturday. So I literally can't fault Ian, definitely not.
And what would you say for new or existing customers who are looking to, say, buy an EVM vehicle?
Sure.
Any advice?
Absolutely do it. Like I say, when you buy a car from a garage, you have a certain expectation that they will still be there and they will sort any minor teething problems out. And it's exactly the same in this. You don't always get that with minibuses, and I can speak from past experience on that. But this EVM, brilliant, and I'm not just saying that either.
So back in 2017, you won the Route 1 Awards. What's the next thing or next step for Homeward Bound Travel?
Ooh, next step for Homeward Bound Travel. to be honest, just to survive through what's going on at the moment, which will be fine, and we will. But all other plans, I toyed with the idea of getting an accessible mini coach for moving forward, but I'm not sure if that's the right move. Maybe something slightly bigger. Who knows? I don't know. Just to get through when passengers actually want to get on buses again, that would be great.
Yeah, I think it's quite difficult as well at the minute. There's no plan that you can go straight to at all.
No.
Is there anyone that at the minute, or it could be before COVID, that you kind of look up to who's helped you along the way, or is anyone you are inspired by?
Do you know, all I would say is that when you're out in the middle of the night, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and you look up and it's literally all owner operators out there driving their own vehicles just to get through, that to me is amazing, that everybody is, a lot of the drivers are furloughed, so you've got to do it yourself. They're all trying to keep their own company surviving. And, like I say, you can be out with 5 other owner operators who are running everything during the day and working all night. And I just think, it's incredible that they've actually got that sort of, whatever the word is, motivation, yes, to get on and do it. That kind of inspires me more than anything else, to carry on and do it myself as well.
Yeah, and how do you yourself keep motivated and focused on?
How do I keep motivated? Just that, I guess, the desire to survive it and come out the other side and potentially maybe one of few that does survive it. That's that would be my motivation, I think, and to keep a roof over my head.
Yeah, I think like you say, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely, yeah, and a lot of with COVID, you kind of think a lot of doors are shutting. Companies we used to do a lot of feeder work for coach holidays. Obviously, that's completely, and some of them have disappeared. A lot of our big customers have disappeared, but another door will open. It always has done in the 18 years I've been doing it. I could be quite depressed about a particular thing that doesn't come off, or as a contract that comes to an end. My dad will always say, it just trust in it, and it always has. So I've just got to think the same about COVID, I think.
Absolutely, trust the process. I think keep going. Yes. You seem to be doing something right anyway.
Well, hopefully.
Keep you busy. So Homeward Bound, we're based in Dorset. Can you tell us a bit about the operations, who's driving, who's in charge of the bookings, just a bit more about that maybe?
No worries. So I'm in charge of the bookings. We used to do everything very traditionally in a written diary, which I won't give up. But we've taken on a software program from January last year, which I've had a nice slow time trying to work out how to use it. So that will really put us forward. It's a very efficient way of doing it and invoicing and whatever. My drivers, they're all brilliant. I try and employ only friends or family,
Nice.
which works so well because everybody obviously has issues with drivers, and mine are just great, like I say, long-term friends or relatives. So that's good. I know I can trust them all. And obviously myself.
Yeah, of course.
I'm on the road as well.
Forget.
So and we're just with having 3 vehicles, you can keep it a lot more personal. You can keep it under control. You don't have to use drivers that you don't want to use. So you always know that the driver is capable and good.
And how many have you got in total?
So we've got, I think we'd say maybe 5 or 6, and then maybe a couple of part-timers. Obviously my dad drives, but he's obviously advancing in years. So every year he tells me he doesn't want to do it anymore, and then every year he still does.
He's still in, he's
yes,
stuck now.
Keeps his finger in, but won't do earlies or anything along those lines. Not out in the middle of the night, so cherry picks his jobs.
And how, is there anything that you kind of go to just to kind of unwind from work and have that balance between work and your personal life?
Do you know, I walk the dog. That gives me peace. My daughter does a lot of swimming. She swims 5 or 6 times a week. So I find myself sat around a swimming pool for 2 hours at 6 o'clock in the morning quite regularly. So that in itself, you chat to other parents and whatever, that gets you away from from sort of the whole world of coaching and talking about minibuses and breathing minibuses.
And is there anything that you're kind of listening or reading to at the minute that inspires you?
I don't often get an awful lot of time. I've got a book that I've been reading for about the last 10 years, which is not particularly thick, but I just never get a chance to actually finish it. And it's about human behaviour, which I find is what I did my degree in, when obviously I couldn't do anything transport related at that point. But just the psychology of humans and why they behave like they do.
Interesting.
But that's I'll probably finish it in about 10 or 15 years time.
So to keep on track of things, I know that you've mentioned that you're in swimming pools with your daughter really early in the morning. What is your typical morning routine?
Ooh, well, I've always struggled to get out of bed, to be fair. So I'm definitely more of a night person than a morning person. Yeah. I just, if she's not swimming, then it's an easy morning. But otherwise, sometimes we're up at sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then, I drop her off at school, and then my day starts after walking the dog.
Of course.
Yeah.
Bit of fresh air.
Yes.
Well, it's been great chatting to you.
And you.
Lovely to have a nice insight into everything. And
I hope it's not been too boring.
No, thank you for taking the time.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.